First at 6:30, the lottery is a billion-dollar industry in Arizona, and in recent years, new companies have entered the market, letting you buy tickets from home online.
Arizona's Family Investigates found out they aren't regulated, and in fact, other states are banning them now. Here is investigator Amy Cutler.
Why do I play a lottery? To opportunity to win big money.
We can all agree on why we play the lottery.
It's to win the big one.
Get some money. Get some extra money.
And now it's easier than ever to play without leaving your home. Lotto couriers allow you to purchase tickets online.
Here's how it works. Once you log on to their website and app, they'll check your age and location. Once that's done, you can just click a few simple buttons to actually buy your ticket. One of their employees will go to the store for you to get that ticket. They'll scan and upload it and then notify you if you've won.
Is that something you'd consider?
Yes, I probably would.
And a lot of people already are. After operating in Arizona for just 7 months, Jackpocket, one of these online delivery services, sold a winning ticket. That Mega Millions ticket, worth $112 million, was the second largest jackpot in state history. Alec Thompson is the executive director of the Arizona Lottery.
That transaction was seamless. There was a lot of security actually that went into making sure that that player got their ticket, came into the office and was able to redeem the ticket.
That ticket was technically sold here at Jackpocket's physical location, a place called Winner's Corner in Tempe. While couriers are a recent addition to Arizona, they've been in Texas for almost a decade and have recently come under scrutiny. State lawmakers citing two concerns. First, enabling underage players, and second, a loophole allowing some to game the system. Texas state lawmakers found in 2023 several companies colluded and ended up buying almost every combination of possible numbers. About 26 million tickets to win a $95 million jackpot.
Has that raised any red flags or concern for you?
You know, I think locally and nationally as an industry, we're watching what's happening in Texas.
Thompson says they haven't experienced any problems here in Arizona as these couriers have come online.
We take security and integrity of the game very, very seriously, and that's something we monitor very closely.
But Jeff Leonard with the National Association of Convenience Stores worries.
If I'm a customer and I know that the odds that have always been everybody has an equal chance have been tilted in favor of companies that can buy tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of tickets.
He argues online sales are already hurting convenience stores where they've seen a decline in lottery sales. Stores make money selling tickets, about 10 cents on every $2 Powerball ticket sold. But they also receive bonuses when they sell a winning ticket. According to national lottery statistics in 2022 in sales and bonuses, the average store made just over $2,300 a month. But there's more.
When somebody goes to a convenience store, they're probably picking up something more than a lottery ticket. They could be getting a fill-up. They could be getting whatever it is. Those are other items that also pay taxes beyond just that single ticket.
Over at the corner market in Tempe, the manager, Mindy Cole, says she's seen it firsthand.
They're a little annoying, but yes, it actually stops people from coming in.
But lottery officials say the apps make the games more available to new players.
It's a testament to engaging a new audience, right, that maybe isn't going into the gas station.
And these couriers are just getting more popular. We looked at sales from that record Mega Millions drawing in January and found the brick and mortar locations for Jackpocket and Lotto.com were among the top sellers. And a ticket sold by Jackpocket is now considered the largest prize ever won through a lottery courier.
The concern is how the big could get bigger, how the unregulated could lead to distrust in the system.
As we've seen more and more people using these lottery couriers, do you see that as the future of how this is going to go?
You know, I think the future of lottery is primed for innovation, right? The future of gaming is primed for innovation.
The lottery is big money. Just in 2024, there was more than $1.5 billion in sales. Around 20% of that went to state programs like higher education and health programs.
And with them not being regulated here, are there any efforts to change that?
Yeah, so the courier that we mentioned in that story, Jackpocket, declined a request for an interview, but they say they support regulations. They argue the reason it was so easy to ban them in Texas is in part because they weren't regulated. What exactly those rules would look like, though, isn't clear.
All right, maybe more to come on that. Amy Cutler, thanks.